All right, well, welcome. My name's Steven Shipler. It's May 1st, 2021, and I'll tell you what the significance is of that being May 1st and explain kind of what I'm trying to accomplish and trying to do to help my peers, real estate agents, real estate brokers, salespeople, and just what I'm trying to do to help in that situation. So a little bit about me, since this is the first one of many first videos. I'm Steven Shipler. I grew up in Kalispell, Montana. I actually grew up on Flathead Lake, if somebody knows where that's at, and in Summers, Montana, and went to Summers Elementary. And then went to off to the military after I graduated high school. I was in the Army for 2 years, stationed at Fort Knox and Fort Polk mainly. And I learned a lot in the military, learned a lot about process, learned a lot about, following systems and paths, and lots of innovative things, and how to basically implement those within a group of people quickly. And then I was on the GI Bill, so basically I did do that to go to college. And so then after I got out of the military, I went on to the University of Colorado Boulder and got an accounting degree and became an auditor with Deloitte and worked there for many years. Ended up transferring from the Denver office to the Dallas office with Deloitte, and decided to go out on my own, be entrepreneurial, and figure out why I had all these things in my head about how to create systems and drive growth and for entrepreneurs, and I wanted to do that on my own. And so I just got a little stagnant and decided to go out on my own. Got my broker's license, and went on to have a lot of success with my amazing teams in the state of Texas. Rose to high rankings, and there doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to end up sharing those things in a book, and how I did those things and went through those processes, and basically could save somebody potentially 3, 4, 5 years, struggling and fighting and trying to find their way through how to navigate this thing we call real estate. When my son went off to the university in Arizona, I went on and got my MBA, and just wanted to really drive home some of the things that I had thought about in business and tried to analyze and figure those things out. So went on and did that, and then I always wanted to go back to Colorado. I always wanted to be there. Not particularly fond of the snow, but I liked it there, and it's a natural, very cool place. And so I wrote this book and had these 50 bullet points, okay? 50 bullet points. I had friends say, nobody's going to buy anything that has 50 pillars or 50 bullet points. Nobody's going to do that. It's just too much. It sounds too overwhelming. And so I thought, okay, well, how about I break that down to 10 pillars? And so I started really hammering through that. This is over a process of maybe 3 years, and really during the last months of 2020, last, say, 4 or 5 months, I really focused on a lot of energy on getting this down in writing and trying to get it published. So that's where I'm at today. So this is the book that ended up coming out of that. This is the 10 Pillars to Success in Listing and Selling Real Estate. This is basically the how-to guide on how to list and sell real estate in the 21st century. I'm not trying to sell this book. You can go on Barnes & Noble, or you can go on Amazon. You can buy it, of course, but my purpose isn't to really sell the book. If you want to use the book as a guideline, I'm going to be covering everything that's in this book through videos and just this free coaching. So if there's, if you want to go get it. I can also get this to you for free. Just you would cover shipping. So that's where we're at. And so basically what I decided to do, which was very stressful, and it took a lot of thought to do this, where I thought, dang, why don't I just go back to Colorado and prove that this can be done anywhere in the world? And so that's where I'm at. So I'm sitting in Parker, Colorado, south of Denver now. I'm in my office, of course, and I have nobody. It's just me. I literally, got my license here not long ago, and have done a few transactions, but I was really focusing energy on the book. And of course, we had the issue with COVID and all that. So that actually was a benefit to me because it afforded me more time to work on the book. So that's where I'm at today. So basically what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go through a series of videos and a series of information and pieces out of the book to help people learn and grow, beginning in real estate, just brand new, to agents or brokers that are struggling now in real estate, or people that have themselves or a small team and they want to grow bigger. Like they want to really take that to beyond $1 million in gross commission income. That's really what my wheelhouse is to grow. I've always been an advocate of growth, and so it's just where my brain sits on the kind of that growth spectrum. I have always want to be have growth. So I was willing to take a massive chance and roll everything up and come to Colorado and really just take it from here. So I'm going to start an in-cycle period. So, and I'll explain what that in-cycle period is. Today's May 1st, 2021. And I'll show you what that 100-day in-cycle period entails. But let's start with, I'm going to share with you some of the videos that we're going to go over. This is the calendar, or the list over here. So basically we'll start with this list and go through these one by one, and until we get finished with this. I think this is 42 videos here, including our live call sessions that we'll have. So we'll cover all this. So I'll start today with an intro, and then kind of talk a little bit about the book, talk about how to earn $1 million in gross commissions in real estate, how to get 100 listings, how to get 10 listings in a month, do a live call session, which I think will be really fun. I love doing those. Your first 30 days after getting your license, for those that are brand new, we'll cover what to do on that. Build your listings to $1 million in gross commission income. Today is the best day in real estate. That is true. Today is the best day in real estate. And then we'll do a live call session, another live call session. We'll talk about processes. We'll talk about offering a unique value. Why do real estate agents fail? Talk about that. Something covered also in the book. It's really driven by not having a system. I mean, more than anything. Your target audience and what that is. We'll talk about this today a little bit. This will be in a separate video. But 25, 25, 100, 10, 10, 100, and 5, 5, 100. We'll talk about this here shortly. And what your plan is, and what you're wanting to accomplish. So your 10 reasons why somebody would want to work with you. We'll review your checklist, and then we'll do another live call session. Master the morning in real estate, very, very important. I'll talk a lot about this and share with you some other people that have taught me this. How to become a script master, expired listing script for sell by owner, listing script, geo-target seller script, diamond buy sell script. So we'll talk about all these scripts. And the scripts aren't really just to give to you and say use these. I mean, it's just a baseline. These scripts I've spent tons and tons of work on. I mean, I have a whole entire giant folder of the evolution of these, but and I'll show you where those scripts land for me today and which ones I use and why. We'll go through all that. So live calls again, which would be appropriate after scripts. Contact prospecting platform, which one to use, or which ones, or what these are, really defining these. Prospecting platform is really important. That's a really main tool that we use. Mastering the appointments, wholesale versus retail net sheet, backup plan and menu of services. We'll talk about that, do another live call session. We'll go over the buyer and seller guides, how I use the buyer and seller guides that we've designed, real estate follow-up system, and then part 1 and part 2 of the follow-up, because that's really one of the main things that we do is follow-up is really the key to everything. The pillars in marketing. So the essentials, we'll talk about that. Vision and mission, we'll do live calls again. Smart goals, talk about branding, and always knowing your data, which is very, very important in real estate. If you don't know your data, you can't really make decisions and scale and hire and do things like that. We'll talk about business cards, live calls again, and then we'll do in-cycle updates. So these, I'll end up doing these in-cycle updates. I'll try to do these really often, like maybe even actually every day, because today I'll start in my in-cycle period, and I'll explain what the in-cycle and off-cycle periods are. So basically that gives you kind of an idea of this first phase of videos. Likely I'll get through 2 or 3 of these a day. So this isn't like a 42 days or 100 days. This is, I'm going to get through these and just keep going and build this board out again and build it out again and again until we, just keep on, we'll just keep going as we're moving along and keep integrating. So that's basically what that board looks like. And so let's talk a little bit about what in cycle and off cycle means. So I'm just going to open this page to the book. So basically on page 22, it talks about in cycle and off cycle defined. So basically what this is in the past, I had always just worked. Didn't matter if I was in cycle or off cycle, it had no meaning. And I thought over the last couple of years, why don't I create something where we can go off cycle, like just get off the grid and like have peace, And so I thought, well, dang, the only way to really do that is to work our butts off for 100 days and then have 10 days off. It sounds like it might be risky, but it isn't at all. Because nowadays, we have title companies to help us. We have our supporting cast at our office. Some of us have transaction coordinators. Some of us have follow-up coordinators, general coordinators, different people that work in the office. And some of us even have agents, a buyer's agent or an outside sales specialist or a listing agent, outside sales specialist. So, but even doing this on your own, doing it solo, is definitely possible to take time off, like to have an off-cycle period, okay? So anyways, by design, you can see on page 22 of the book, basically what that is doing is saying, why don't we have a starting point and work 100 days, bust our butts. For me, I take Sunday off because I need some time off. I don't want to totally fry myself. But take 100 days and just really go after it. Really do the best we possibly can in that 100-day period. And then go off cycle, meaning we're off, like we're not doing anything real estate for 10 days. And so what that gives us is it affords us the ability to see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's really the main goal here, is to work and see the light at the end of the tunnel getting brighter and brighter as we approach it, right? And so this in-cycle period starts today, and you can see that it goes from May 1st to August 8th. So that's basically my in-cycle period, okay? My in-cycle period is today through August 8th, and then I'm going to take 10 days off. So you can go on to, just go on Google and type in number of days between 2 dates. Just type that in, number of days between 2 dates. And you'll get this program, or this, whatever this is, website that you can put in the dates, and you can kind of figure out your starting date and then what 100 days is to the end date. You can keep putting dates in until you get the actual 100 days. And so you can see on here that I put this on my little schedule that shows May 1st is my beginning day for 100 days and August 8th is my last day for 100 days, okay? So then we can talk about what 25-25-100 means, and then what that means to you. So for me, I'm gonna do 25 contacts every day for 100 days. So I'm gonna do that 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday with Sunday off. I'm going to be contacting for sale by owners, expireds, older for sale by owners, geo-targeting communities, cultivating areas we talk about in the book that I'm sending out Market Watch newsletters to, that I'm farming basically or cultivating to. And I'm going to do 25 contacts every day for 100 days. My goal on that is to have 25 listings every 100 days. Okay, so it's 25, 25, 100, 25 contacts a day, 25 listings, and 25 listings can be buyers or sellers because I've always had buyer representation agreements, which is a listing, a buyer listing, and or a seller listing. So as a normal standard, listing agreement with the seller. So 25 contacts a day should get me 25 listings over the next 100 days. So that's my goal. So when you're first starting out, and if somebody's not familiar with making calls or using scripts or any of that, the initial goal in this should be 5, 5, 100. So 5 contacts a day should get you 5 listings in 100 days. And then you can gradually move up. So usually the increments are 5, 5, 100, 10, 10, 100. And then I've had some people go to 15, 15, 100 or 20, 20, 100. Usually it's 5, 5, 100, 10, 10, 100, and then they're comfortable enough to go to 25, 25, 100. So, and once you start seeing, results from this and you start earning money, of course you're going to say, well, dang, I want to go to 10, 10, 100. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting more proficient at what I'm doing. And so now I think I'm ready to go to like 10, 10, 100, set that goal, okay? Or you can do, since there's, these are 100-day cycles. I've coached people, amazing people that have gone 5, 5, 100 for 100 days, 10, 10, 100 for 100 days, and then 25, 25, 100 for the last 100 days. So that's going to be 300 days of work with 65 days off. That's including your holiday breaks and time off, plus your 10, 10, 10 cycles, right? So you should end up getting about 50 to 60 days off a year. And when you're doing work like this, like it's very, very dense. It's amazing use of time. You're mastering your morning. You're doing all the right things that you need to do in sales, regardless of if it's real estate sales or not. You're doing all of the right things by really making sure you do those really strong suited things in the morning. And so that's why this is will be amazing, and it's going to be really incredible for me to prove it out. And I'm also doing that in a tough market, actually. It seems like it would be just a really robust, like everything's moving so fast and it's this incredible market. And that is true. It is true. Rates are low, inventory is low. So when you deal with supply and demand, there isn't a lot of supply and there's massive demand, right? So yes and no. It's a very, very good market, but I'm also trying to list properties. And so I need to focus some energy on buyers here. And of course I'm trying to do 50-50, well, 60-40 probably. But also, with trying to get listings, even for sell by owners, they're going to sell, they don't really need me right now. So, that makes it a little harder. And even with expires, they don't really need me right now. Because they can put it on for sell by owner if they want to, right? So I'm trying to do things where this is a normal marketplace, right? And this works, it works very well in a normal market. But, what's normal? Define normal. So I'll show how to solicit to buyers using some amazing ads, some different things with buyers, finding out where your buyers are coming from and getting them. So this is a very, very robust program that most... If it's just implemented as a 5-5-100, you're going to have massive success. If you want to go beyond 25-25-100, you're going to have like incredible wild success. You're going to have wild success. So that's where we are. I'll go through a little bit more like these goals. So on this sheet I made, basically it just talks about my starting date today, May 1st through August 8th, 25, 25, 100. I'm going in cycle, which makes me a little nervous. And I got to prove this out, right? So that makes me even more nervous. So 25 listings. I want to buy a new truck. Basically, this is just some of the things. This will require 3 appointments per week for 12 months. 100 appointments a year at 80% conversion rate. Will end up getting us, this will help us reach the 25 listings every 100 days. So if you do that times 3, 75. So 75 to 100 listings a year, buyers or sellers. And that should get us to the 75 to 100 buyers or sellers listed and closed in a 1-year period. So, and for that, in my market, is over $1 million in gross commission income, because you're talking about an average of 13 to 15,000 on GCI per transaction. So you multiply that times 100, you're at 1.3 to 1.5 million. So I mean, even at 5.5 100 or 10 100, I mean at 10 100 you're doing 30 transactions. I mean, you're at $500,000 almost. So it's just all in following, the process, following a system, having a design, having a playbook to go by, which is this would be the playbook. And I'm going to help every step of the way for this playbook. Okay. So that's my mission. Okay. I think that's probably enough for right now. I do have this, my daily to-do list. So I basically have a schedule I just pulled these calendars, just snipped this out with Snagit and popped it in here. And so basically, my call blocks, making my calls. If I reach my goal of 25 contacts, then I'll put an X through this on May 1st. So I'll put an X here, X here, X here, X here, as I go along. And then I also have some other reasons, like for ringing the bell in my office, the office actually across the hall. I'll take you on a tour some other time. But I have a bell that I ring, and the reason I ring the bell, one, it creates energy, and I love having that bell in my culture. But these are the things that I would ring the bell for. So I would ring the bell for 25 contacts today. So that's my goal, right? 25, 25, 100. All of my follow-up is complete. I'll ring the bell. New listing seller, I'll ring the bell. New listing buyer, I'll ring the bell. Property under contract, ring it. Closing complete, of course we're going to ring it. 5-star review, I ring it. These are just some other things, like selling a book, of course, because this is a lot of work to do a book. It's 3 years of work. Any new coaching members, and then my presentations, 3 times presentations. So the presentation is just basically my goal is to present 3 times a week. So I try to have 3 appointments. That's going to be my goal going forward here. 2 listings, 1 buyer is usually how it comes out, because I'm making a lot of listing calls. If I don't present to a buyer, I still do the buyer presentation by the end of the week. If I only present to 1 seller and no buyers, then I do another seller presentation just on my own, as if I'm presenting that to somebody, and a buyer presentation just on my own, as if I'm presenting that to somebody, right? So I try to have 3, I will have 3 presentations done, 2 listings, 1 buyer presentation. And if those aren't real people that I'm presenting to, then of course I'm going to do those anyway here in the office. And I'll do some of those live, on video, just to make sure that I keep sharp and do the presentations, right? So as you, like the intro in the book talks about the NBA and NFL, they don't just show up on game day and start playing, right? They have a playbook. They've been working all week. They work all day, every day, without much time off, shooting free throws and running plays and understanding the playbook and what to do in this situation, what to do in that situation, what to do in this scenario, and what to do in that scenario. They're not just showing up and just randomly doing stuff during, when they show up for the game on Saturday or Sunday or whenever their game is. They're working all week long to to have that plan and to ingrain that in themselves and really have an understanding so they can better help their team and their group. And this is the same idea. So basically what we're doing is we have a playbook. And the amazing thing that happens in this with the playbook is that, even if you're at 5, 100, you're going to go, wow, like I really got this down. Like I'm ready to go to 10, 100, right? So I'm really, really trying to figure all these out. And there really are 50 things, marketing tools in this book. So, there's going to be a lot of things we cover. We're going to cover newsletters and magazines and postcards and branded, unbranded things, and why to use business cards, why do we do this, how to do a presentation, seller, wholesale versus retail net sheets. We're going to go through everything that has been designed to accomplish this massive goal that we're trying to accomplish. But if we break it down in little tiny increments, we can definitely accomplish it. So today's day 1, May 1st, and I'm starting my in-cycle period today. Master the morning. So it's the morning and I'm getting ready to start this amazing journey I just can't wait to take with you and share with you. And hopefully 100 people or 1,000 people, whatever, come along. Please subscribe so you don't miss anything. You can subscribe down below. I would love to have that happen so nobody misses anything as we go through. The live calls are going to be amazing. How to make $1 million in GCI in real estate. And again, I'm starting from scratch in Colorado. So it's very, very exciting and very nerve-wracking. And I'm just trying to put myself kind of in the same shoes as most people and start from scratch and get things rolling and get things done. All right. So let's get things going and go serve with passion. Thanks so much.